What's up, everybody?
Hey,
we're
welcome.
back. We're back. Bitches and beaches. It's been a couple weeks again. So
Bitches and bitches, yeah.
the beaches and beaches. Well, you were on some beaches, weren't you? Or were
I
you?
was in high proximity to a beach, yes, but it was too cold to be.
It gets
enjoying
cold over there?
It's funny how weather works. Have you been to New York when it's like 60s?
Yeah, I love it.
It's lovely.
That's like
It's
October.
lovely.
It's the
Yeah,
best time. It's
it's
the best
lovely.
time in the whole world.
But
I ain't going in the water.
Yeah, but in California when it's 60s, it's like freezing. People are dying of like hypothermia, right? Because it's like it's the same thing.
It was 50 degrees this morning when I was walking the dog, at like 6:30 in the morning, and I had gloves on.
Yeah, there you go.
When I was walking the dog.
That's the.
I want my little delicate
being,
fingers to get cold.
It's you being a little bitches and bridges, yeah.
Maybe we're gonna have to change it to bitches over here.
Bitches and bitches. Yeah. So in Tel Aviv or in Israel, where I was visiting family, it's December. There was a lot of rain. I mean, I guess significantly a lot of rain. And they had a name for the storm, and they told people to not go out. But it was raining.
Rain.
That was. I mean,
they do that here.
Yeah. Yeah, same
They
thing.
do that exactly
I mean,
here, man.
yes, there were some floods. Yes, apparently some people died, but it did not feel like a storm. Because here, a storm is like a blizzard where cars are flying up in the air. And it's not,
Nor'easters, right?
Yeah,
They call that nor'easters.
nor'easters. They were called nor'easters, yeah. And then, I know there's a storm warning, and they had a name Byron, the storm that attacked Israel. And then I'm looking at the weather app, at what's happening at Brooklyn. And it's like -20 and snowing.
8 feet of snow. I saw
No
the snow you guys had over there. Yeah.
It's just regular. So
Is there still snow outside right now?
There is, yes, but there is some snow.
Is it actively snowing, or is it back to like
now
snow on the
it's
ground?
now it's
turning to ice and slush and just annoying.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna run tomorrow morning in the park and probably fall and break a bone.
Probably.
I hope not to, but I might. So there we go.
Right.
Sacrificing myself for work.
Well, we'll have an interesting episode next week then.
Me sitting on the bed with everything.
We should totally record this on Christmas next week.
If I should be available, I think. Well, I see. I might be heading out to Florida, which was.
You got to go to Florida for Christmas?
Yeah, it's.
That's not a bad idea.
You know that I don't.
Except for the Florida part, but
you know I don't celebrate Christmas per se.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it is the most famous Jewish birthday in the world, so that I can respect that.
I mean, you can't really pop up the Bethlehem and go and like pay tribute, though, can you? Isn't that part of that's a little different area?
I've done that. I was very close one Christmas, high school. So Israel is interesting, especially in the winter, or what we call here summer, but there it's winter. So I went to the beach, and it's some people were in the water, people were chilling and stuff, but it was too cold.
Yeah. I mean, 60 is too cold to be hanging out in the beach. Like even like when we go to like conferences, it's no secret that like I like to have pool time.
Yeah.
And
Lazy
river.
Yeah.
Now that our main conference that we go to is they've moved it a couple weeks earlier in the year. Vegas isn't hot yet.
Yeah.
And I don't get my pool time, but I still sit out there and I'm all freezing. I'm like,
but you're
I'm not in the water, but like I get my margarita and I sit out there and I pretend, even though I have a pool in the backyard. That I can go to any time. It's just something's different about like a resort pool. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. You like pools. That's why you have one in your backyard. And that's why you just want to go and be at as many pools as you can.
Exactly. I want to live in a pool.
Which I can respect. Another interesting thing about Tel Aviv is that when it gets even slightly cold, like the buildings there are not designed to support, I don't know, a separation from the outside. So if it's slightly cold outside, it's going to be very cold inside. And the heating system is not as good as it is here. So you're just cold all the time there, even when you're inside.
Okay. When I was in Tel Aviv, one of the things that was wild to me was the water heaters. Everybody uses the solar water heaters on the roof for like their actual, like their showers and stuff.
Yeah.
But that ain't working right now, is it?
Yeah. So when you don't have something, so you have like a water heater, like a boiler that you just need to remember to turn on before you take a shower. And sometimes you run out of hot water. So if we're a family of 3, right? And so it needs to be on for like 40 minutes, and then let's say my wife and daughter could take a shower, and then I have to like leave it on for
Wait
another 20 minutes, and maybe 20 or so before I could take a shower. And I'm not living there for over 6 years now, and I just forgot how frustrating it is. It was like a thing. Like, oh, we ran out of hot water. Oh, you finished all the hot water. What were you doing in there? Like it's a thing. And then here it's like, who cares? I can just leave the water running all day long, and no one cares. It's like,
you should do that. You should 100% do that.
Yeah. I'm not.
Do you have to pay your own water bill there?
No.
Oh.
I am paying other stuff, which I think is ridiculous.
You should have to pay electricity usually.
I am paying electricity, and I am paying for gas, which I think the heater works on gas. So I have a gas bill for my oven stuff, and then gas bill for heating water or something like that. I did live in one apartment here where all of the bills were just one payment, and it was based on how many ACs you have. So we were like in a one bedroom, and we had 2 ACs. So I just paid another $60 a month for like utilities, and it was freaking awesome, because every other place I've rented since then, I discovered that paying like electricity is almost like 20% of your rent. It's like insane.
Yeah.
It's an additional.
So living in urban areas, it tends to be like the energy uses, like the costs tend to be higher.
Yeah.
Like in really urban areas. So like LA, and like even like San Francisco and stuff, it's like really, really high. But if you go like out to like Texas or like even like the Midwest, like the energy costs are usually pretty low. Like my power bill at my house averages about $350 to $400 a month. Like that's my average.
Wish that's how much I would. That's what I pay for.
And you only have dude, I'm running a pool. Yeah. So I did just put the new heat pump instead of like gas heater furnace. So that's like it costs my energy a little bit, but my gas bill's like $38. Now, granted, I don't heat the pool with the gas because I have a heater like the solar mat, like in Israel. But mats for my pool on the roof, or it pumps through and it heats the pool. But I do heat the hot tub.
That's great. Yeah.
But I haven't heated the hot tub. In several months, probably since September.
No, here, so we have this annoying heaters. It's like an AC, so you don't really want to use it because it just dries up the whole place. But when it gets really cold, you really need to have something. So I bought this electric heater, and I'm paying, honestly, more than I want to admit.
Electric heaters are very expensive. Electric heaters are very expensive.
But it works beautifully. But yes, it's a portable one, so you can put it in a room, and like in 30 minutes, it's like a furnace in there, but it costs you as if you bought a new furnace.
Yeah. Thankfully, like my house has R11 rated insulation, so it pretty much stays at 71 degrees all the time.
And also you're in Orange County, California, which is where it stays pretty much 71 degrees at all times. And when it gets to 65, you wear gloves. That's good.
I just so my highest power bill is like $650 in the summer, maybe like $690.
So for me, that happens in the winter because of the electric.
That's crazy to me. What's your square footage?
Probably about 1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's even by like my tolerant standards of excessive energy prices. That's crazy to me. Yeah,
and also it's funny because I love living in the city, and this podcast is about the differences between maybe like the two coasts or the city and the other side of the country where you do live in a city, but it's not super urban there.
I live in suburbia adjacent to the city.
The income tax I pay here for the state and for the city on top of the federal income tax is like insane. It's not a secret. I just started a new job, and I obviously got some signing bonus. And I just got my.
Has it already been paid? Is that money hit the account?
It has. But then I saw how much taxes I actually paid. And when it's a big payout, you see how big the taxes are, and it's it's almost half of.
Well, you'll get hopefully the rest of your taxes will even it out because you will have hit like your higher, like your. It's more because of how big it is, and like how
it's how big it is,
how the brackets work up.
And it's because it's usually if you're maxing out your 401k payments, so like the November, December salaries are a little higher because you don't have less deductions from there. But because it's my first salary at that company, and I didn't really, add it up to the other. So I'm going to have probably a nice return at the end of like next year. But it just hit me hard that it's like probably around 40% of my income goes to taxes, and then on top of that,
sounds about right. It sounds about right. Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's like high sales tax, so you're lucky if you can keep like 35% of how much you actually made.
What is your sales tax there?
It's like 8.7, something like that.
I mean, that's not. I mean, LA is like 10.5. Let me see here.
Yeah, well, LA and New York probably the most expensive cities in the world.
Let's find out right now.
Let's talk as you're putting it up.
8.875%, and then
8.7, same thing. Oh yeah, that's New York. 8.8. Yeah.
LA sales tax is, let's see, this is all FUBAR right now. It says that it is 9.75%. Yeah,
that's crazy. Well,
I thought that's lower than I thought. I thought it was over 10 now.
But you get to live in the city of stars, so you know what?
You know, it's funny. I just started typing, and it's like I auto suggested highest sales tax in the U.S. and then for some reason it's the overall 7.25% in California is the highest.
Okay, interesting. You had some interesting news in LA this week.
Which one?
I'm specifically talking about Rob Reiner, which honestly hit me hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say
I think that when his son comes down to earth and realizes what he did, he's gonna have a really hard time, and that's why they got him in the suicide vest right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly psychotic episode.
Well, I'm sure he's spun out of his mind too, because he's had that history of addiction. So I'm sure he was indulging. It's Christmas time, and he was at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party.
I know. I'm
sure he was indulging in some substances. I can control myself when I indulge.
Well, that's
but
the point.
I've never done like maybe some crazy shit.
And again, that's kind of the point of having like an addiction as an illness and not as a hobby like you do.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
But
I keep thinking. Look, I have a child, and I think having the last thought in your mind is that your child is stabbing you to death. It's probably shitty as hell. A little
more information came out last night. They were in their bedroom, so they might have been, fast asleep, and their throats were slit. So they might have been asleep, but I mean, still, you're going to feel that and wake up, and
whatever. I mean, yeah. That's,
But what's funny? Or what wasn't funny? What was sad is like I logged into HBO the other day, HBO Max, I think is what we're calling it now this week, and the new Spinal Tap movie that he just released onto there. Yeah, I have not watched it. I need to go back and revisit the original Spinal Tap first.
I think I've watched it maybe when I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, that's why. Me too. And I don't have like the whole like.
I'll let you in a little secret. I saw this movie, and then I don't think I had the depth back then to understand it. I thought I'm seeing a real documentary about a rock band. I remember going to school the next day.
They toured and stuff.
But I went to school the next day, and I thought, have you heard of this like cool band, Spinal Tap? They looked so awesome, and they were like crazy. Yeah, and then I realized it was a parody or a mockumentary. The funny thing is, again, not funny, but to me, I feel probably when it's people of that magnitude, we all kind of feel close to them in a way. But my favorite piece of American comedy is Mel Brooks and Rob Reiner's dad, Carl Reiner, 2,000-Year-Old Men. Have you heard about it? You know what that is?
I have not. Tell me about it. Take me down this journey here.
So Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner were good buddies in the 50s. I think they both wrote for the Caesar's Your Show of Shows at the time, and also for... I know Carl Reiner wrote the Dick Van Dyke Show, who, by the way, celebrated
100th birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
100 years.
That's a guy. And they had this party trick where Carl Reiner, being like this straight man, interviews Mel Brooks as if he was a 2,000-year-old man. And it's an hilarious chat. Look, they're both, it was, I'm guessing, outrageous in the 60s. Today, it's not maybe not outrageous. But it's hilarious. It's like this guy, he's 2,000-year-old. He met everyone. He knew everybody. He's, one of his girlfriends was Jeanne d'Arc. He was big friends with William Shakespeare. Like, this is the whole thing. And I think there's about maybe 3 or 4 different albums of this recording of their conversation. And when I heard it, probably when I was 18 or 19, I thought it's the funniest thing in the world. And then turns out this Carl Reiner guy who just interviews Mel Brooks is Rob Reiner's dad, and Rob Reiner is this actor, director. So I always kind of felt like I know this family, and then at some point I started following Rob's daughter, Romy Reiner. She's like an Instagram gal, obviously, because she's super rich and has nothing to do other than posting pictures on Instagram. And there's a lot of like family content there. So a lot of like pictures of her and her dad, and talking even recently, like a month ago, like a conversation they had about just life and stuff. And now she found them like dead.
She found them. So it was a masseuse was trying to go into the house to give massages and couldn't get access.
Oh, and then
so
they called Romy. Yeah. So
yeah, and then she actually, after she called the police, she actually called
Larry David,
Billy Crystal, Billy
Crystal, and Larry David. Yeah, they're both over there. Yeah.
Larry David too, and Billy Crystal said he saw the bodies.
That's what I've heard about both of them, because they all live. Yeah. They all live there. It's like Santa Monica or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's Brentwood. Yeah, I mean it's on the other side of the freeway. I've had some friends that live there. I spent some time in that area. It's a very nice area. It's very peaceful, very tree lined. OJ was from there. OJ lived there. But to your point though, let's talk about this for a minute. The Instagram thing, where you feel like you're part of the family. I do think that that's one thing on social media that has kind of driven celebrity obsession a little deeper. Is now you get these behind the scenes peek into their lives when before you'd see them at restaurants, would see them like doing social stuff and like the paparazzi photos of them in public. But now you're seeing like them in their living room or at their kitchen.
Yeah, like shitting on the toilet or whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. That's my favorite content.
Yeah. Don't I know
it? Yeah, a little bukkake on there. But it does make people feel like they are close, intimate friends with these folks.
Yeah.
And
I feel like you know them.
And it's cool to see the behind the scenes. I remember like when it first started, like to see some like, especially like before like before like the Instagrams and things exploded, when they was just regular celebrities, there wasn't that many people on there. It was like super intimate, like to see those sorts of things. And now like everybody sees it. You'll see like 2 million likes on a photo of them on the toilet, and it's driven like these people to that can't separate those sorts of things, that to think that they really are their friend. And like they really were in that room with them. Remember me when I was watching you take a shit?
Yeah.
Like it's
interesting.
It's a little wild. Like
I do enjoy what you said about like the paparazzis, because it feels like Instagram kind of took the sting out of paparazzi, because now I don't need anyone.
I don't know how that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
And I remember I saw David Letterman's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, which is a great interview show, by the way. Yeah.
I haven't been on the show, but I've been in the audience of that
and
show. I was on the Kanye West one,
Yeah, so...
You can go see me. I'm in front row or second row in the middle from the stage.
I remember that story. Yeah. Kind of like the,
It was, just so everybody knows, it's about 45 minutes on Netflix. It was 2.5 hours of actual taping.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He was nuts.
So he was and still is. So in the episode that was recorded, I think one before, one after, with Kim Kardashian, I remember her...
It was after because I'll tell you why.
Because it was not
because she kept having to save him on stage and jump in. She was sitting over in like the family section, a couple rows back behind.
Interesting.
And Chris was there, like the whole family was there, and she kept having to say, "What my husband's trying to say is," and then like articulate for him. So then she came on, I think like 2 episodes later. So it was like, I think it was Tiffany Haddish, and then.
So she said something about how at the beginning of their series, Living It Up Like the Kardashians or whatever it was named, first season, all they were just like a normal, like rich family from LA. There was nothing special about them, but they really tried to show how extravagant their life is, and how like we're celebrities, we're crazy, we're spending money on a bunch of shit. But then as the season progressed, they now try to show kind of the opposite. No, we're normal people. We're not. So that's just interesting how that kind of the same thing as you're saying about the Instagrams, that you feel like you're part of the family, but they're mega celebrities. But no, when you're seeing them taking a shit or having dinner or fighting or whatever it is, then you kind of relate to them more, which is just interesting.
It would be, they should just take a regular, not like La Boo Boo or Honey Boo Boo or whatever that was.
Just like a normal plane.
Just a regular ass family. Like just go find like a family that has like 2 $50,000 incomes, living in the Midwest, and a regular 3-2 with 2 kids and soccer practice, and just follow them for a month.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that. Like, and just see regular, like them sitting around the dinner table, with a bag of Carl's Jr. eating it. Like what kind of conversations are they having?
I'm sure.
Like I want to see that.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had a little more capital so I could try and get that to happen.
Produce these type of stuff. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's a pitch. That's a pitch. Let's go to NBC. And that's a show about nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to call Netflix because I think they're still buying content. I want to executive produce this. I want them to come to my house and just do a day in the life of my life. Just me trying to balance all these different shows that I'm taping all at the same time. Like, this is my second one back to back, by the way.
While having a full-time job, that's not either of
Well,
these.
having a full-time job. Don't worry, it's not light outside.
Well, it's the beginning of December. Of course, it's very dark.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing this after hours. Don't mind that it comes out same day when we record it. Oh my God, yeah. Me yelling at the dog, trying to get him to stop throwing his tennis ball in the pool. Really compelling content.
Yeah, of course, man. I'd watch at least one episode, I'm guessing.
At least that's all I need. I just need the one big break, dude, so I could go at the bar and be like, remember when I was on TV once?
You can just edit and repeat your reaction to the Kanye West outrageous answers.
Oh, that was so rough, man. They took our phones and our watches and put them in the Yonder bags.
I
was like, so I have a little bit of anxiety around, like, mostly around like rom-com type stuff, like when people wouldn't be doing something reasonable, like their ex from 5 years ago calls them up out of the blue and needs them to come take them to a doctor's appointment. And they don't tell their wife and they get in the car and take, like, that sort of stuff that people wouldn't normally do. And so I was like, so during the whole taping of that, he was just saying so much craziness. I was like, I couldn't take it. It was pretty brutal. I will say that David Letterman is a masterclass in interviewing.
Oh, well, he's a pro. He's the
navigating
best.
Those crazy, bro. Like, I never watched the Letterman show except for like clips and stuff like that, and I think I watched like the Barack Obama one, but to see him navigate that interview with the craziness that was coming out of Kanye's mouth was like, and to maintain his composure. Well, one time he lost it and was like, it was about when Kanye was wearing the MAGA hat thing.
This is probably one of Kanye's last appearances where he was still perceived as being like a normal, like crazy genius.
So he was talking about a lot on there, and I don't know how much, I can't remember because I watched it and they cut a lot of it, but about like how the medicine that he was on after he had lost his mind and then went through the whole thing. This is before he like really lost his mind to the Adidas stuff. Mm-hmm. But when he like lost his mind on stage, and then they put him on meds, and then he was talking about how like the medicine made him gain weight, and he didn't know that, and then he was trying to get off the medicine. So there was like moments of lucidity. I mean, he was kind of funny from time to time. He's really funny.
This guy got to where he got. It's like, it's not a mistake. He's just insane.
100%. And I guess like at the same time, like if you like call yourself a genius and you believe it, like other people will believe it too. Yeah. Well, other people will believe it too. I will say he made a joke one time and I laughed in there, and I'm tall, so I stick up above the crowd a little bit. I laughed and he's like, "Oh, you fucking think that's funny?" And looked right at me, and I was like, "Well, yeah." I go, "Well, yeah, it was funny. It was funny." But
it was a good.
That didn't make it in. That didn't make it into the actual taping. Yeah. But Letterman, like I wish, like, I mean, I've had no formal journalism training, obviously. But
no comment.
I like to feel like when I do on my main show, I'm pretty good at interviewing my guests because I haven't had any go sideways yet.
Yeah.
And we're about 100 in on that one. But I just couldn't imagine not losing my mind sitting across from some of those things.
No, I think that's it takes a different type of personality, and I also think that Letterman literally has been training for like 30 years interviewing all those. Like, you need certain calmness when you're with those people. Like Kanye is probably one of the extremes, but all of them. Kim Kardashian and I know there was an episode with Adam Sandler recently. I couldn't interview Adam Sandler. I would piss my pants, just excited to see this guy in real life. You know what I mean? Like, you need a certain type of, you need a name for yourself before you can even.
Yeah, well, that's what's super weird to me. Like, when some of these random ass podcasters come up with like these celebrity interviews, it's like, how are you getting these? Must have, like, they're industry plants. That's what the podcasts are. Yeah, that's true too. Like, I don't pay my guests. Actually, guests pay to come on my show. So that's even. Well, I remember when I was doing my taxes the first year I had the podcast. I had a different accountant, and he was like, I was like, yeah, I made a podcast. I was like, I made like X amount of dollars this year. And he's like, that's great. He's like, wow. He's like, usually like I got a couple other podcasters and they lose money. They pay people to come on the thing. And I was like, yeah. He's like, wow. He's like, are you just doing this first year? I'm like, I mean, it's like, I will say, the main pod has never lost money, despite all the gear that it has to its name and all that. It's always turned a profit every time. So I must be doing something right. But and I don't get to interview celebrities. I just get to interview really big founders of really big companies.
Yeah, which are celebrities, at least as far as you ask
in
them.
their own mind.
Yeah,
in their own mind. Yeah. But
so what are your plans for Christmas?
Gonna stay here. So I like to make
a
big Christmas Eve dinner.
Do you see yourself as like Christian?
I go to midnight mass and
Christian,
I do the
you go
rosary.
To church, you go all that. Yeah.
No, I don't do any of that. I have a tradition since I've been an adult with my own home and all this stuff, and even when I was renting, that I cook the prime rib dinner because I like prime rib on Christmas Eve, and then I get the fire pit going, and then I put Sinatra or the Rat Pack Christmas on, and I sit outside with my bourbon next to my fire pit, and I play that until like midnight, and then I go to bed, wake up, open the presents, and then go to the bar. Kind of like sometimes we visit family first.
Every tradition with you somehow begins and ends at the bar.
Well, we don't have kids, so it's like kind of like up and down real quick on the opening the presents. Usually we're up by 7:30. Now we got the dog, so he gets to open presents too. Make coffee, make the cinnamon rolls, and then open the presents, and then we're done by 8. It's all done. And then sometimes we go to like her family. Her sister lives in the area, so sometimes we'll go over there. But like they have the kids stuff, and the kids are doing their own thing, and then it's like you're kind of just sitting there, standing around.
Yeah.
And then we go to like my best friend because I got my goddaughters over there, drop off their gifts. Same thing, their kids are now playing with their toys, standing around. So we don't have kids. So then it's like we're done with everything by noon. Like what else do you do? So we swing by like last year or the first year of this house, not last year, the first year of this house. None of the bars were open, and we were dying. We were calling every bar we could find in the local area, being like, "Are you open? Are you open? Are you open?" And like none of them were. I don't remember what we ended up doing, but it was pretty brutal that day.
It's funny how in New York
I need to be social a little bit.
You go to either Chinese restaurants or Israeli-owned places, and then they're all open.
And then you get normal stuff. I mean, we just so since I moved out to, if I was in like Beverly Hills, it'd be
that's
fine.
how we planned COVID, right? Yeah. We were sitting one Christmas. All the Jews and the Chinese people.
No, that was how you guys did it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, and then you busted out the space lasers now, and now we got to deal with that shit.
Yeah, slowly.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you next week what comes out of this year's sit down.
Yeah, so what are you guys planning for next week? Like, tell me, what are you guys planning?
I can tell you, but I'm not sure it'll make it to Christmas if I'll tell you.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
Take it one step at a time. Yeah.
I mean, look, I've had a good run. If this is it, then so be it.
40-something
Did you see like we had this made up terror group down here that was planning on New Year's Eve attack? Did you see that on the news?
I did not.
Yeah, the Turtles of Liberation Front or something. According to the Department of Justice, the Turtles of Liberation Front are planning on bombing stuff in L.A. in Orange County. They won't say the targets, and they won't they said the names of these people. They had a video of them.
All I'm going to say about that is that if it comes from the government, I believe 100% of it, because the government is the most trustworthy.
It was the first time I've ever looked at like a subreddit that was like a major subreddit that was talking about the news, and everybody's like, I don't believe you. Like it was all that meme. I don't believe you. And I've never there's a lot of conspiracy people out there, but I've never seen like all of Reddit be like, yeah, this is totally made up. And I will have to say, it feels made up. It all feels made up.
Just the name. But also,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well,
there was no you could Google it and there was nothing, and then and now there's an Instagram that the government made. I mean that somebody made. It would be perfect to make a meme one and just fill it with just fake content. But then Pam Bondi's gonna kick your door down and throw the Epstein files on your desk and arrest you. And
isn't it how what Scientology started is like Ron Havard said, I'll just make up a religion and then I can save on taxes, and then kind of say
probably that sounds about right.
He said he's gonna do it, and then he actually did it or something like that.
Because wasn't he like friends with like Lord of the Rings guy, and then he just was trying to like one up him or something? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theory. But I just know that Scientology was completely
with,
made
the
up.
Lord of the Rings and Elvis and George Washington, and they all kind of partnered together. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, they're still out there, man. They're on the moon made of cheese.
And evidence is in the chemtrails. So just look up and you'll see it.
By the way, have you watched Pluribus yet?
I have. I did not watch the recent 2 episodes because I was out for 10 days in Israel, but I love everything about the show. It feels like, I love how it is all hair. And you feel like you watch it and you feel like you have this like intimate experience of being the last person.
Just like Instagram.
Just like Instagram. Yeah. That's a full circle.
But I do think it's super fascinating what they've done a really good job of making her feel very alone.
Yes.
Really, really good job of creating that atmosphere. I will say, if that happened and I was one of the 12, I would 100% be the Indian guy. 100%. Like, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I already know me. And as soon as he rolled up
I can do what? Yes.
Yeah. As soon as he rolled up in the jet, I was like, yeah, that's totally me. And then he's in Vegas. I'm like, definitely me. All right, man. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up because it's a short week and I got a lot to do. So, any closing words?
Well, I just, I want all of our listeners, all 12, you and me, just imagine what we would have done in a Pluribus-like scenario. And I'm sure that it's not going to be what Carol's story.
Put it in the comments, everybody. We need interaction. Put what you do in the comments.
Everything you would have
done.
First thing. And just remember that probably no one will ever know about it. That's the best part about it. Just do it.
That is awesome.
That's the thing. Yeah. Everybody knows about it, but no one cares. That's kind of the thing. Because you think
about just want to make you happy.
Yeah, but it's
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in a week or so.
Probably. Happy holidays for those who celebrate.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Merry Hanukkah as well. Yep.
Yeah, that too.
All right.
Get your menorahs out.